Hey guys, welcome back to the Nerd Hangout. Today we're going to talk about Marvel, and we're going to specifically talk about the character Morbius. Now we all know that Morbius is coming out on the big screen and Jared Leto is going to play him, the Sony adaptation of the movie, the character, the Spider-Man villain, and I really want to watch that trailer, give it a reaction with you guys. But before we look at that trailer, guys, I want to talk a little bit about the character from the comic books. Let's go. So before we're going to dive into the Morbius trailer, I want to talk a little bit about who Morbius is. Now we know that this is going to be a reimagined version of Morbius, kind of like Venom. But some would say that Morbius is an unusual film, even by Sony's Spider-Man universe standards. The character is what can best be described as a C-list Spider-Man villain. But it seems like they're going to reimagine him and he's gonna have this role like a guy anti-hero who wars between his doctoral duties as a healer and his newfound bloodlust. But I want to talk about or describe to you where we saw him first, and that is in the Amazing Spider-Man issue 101 and 102. It was released in October 1971. It was the first appearance of Morbius. The cover art is by Jill Kane and Josh Romita Sr. In this introductionary arc, we learn the delicate balance between Morbius' impulse and control. Right off the bat though, we get a sense that there truly is a tragic backstory at play. So let's talk about what the comics say about his origins. Well, Michael Morbius is an acclaimed biologist with such a regard that he won a Nobel Prize for his work. Morbius is described as being an ugly man that is a result from his disease, a rare blood condition he has had his entire life. He is engaged to a woman named Martin Bancroft. He has come to the point in his life where his sickness is becoming fatal. So in a secret, he and his best friend Nikos try creating a cure for him that involves vampire bats and electric shock therapy. Because Morbius is close to dying, they don't have time to test the procedure and have to act fast. They sail out on a yacht to do the experiments in secret, but Martine insists to come along with her fiancé against his protest. When Martine is asleep, Morbius and Nikos do the procedure. It cures him from dying, but gives him the side effects of giving him vampire abilities and cravings. His bloodlust instantly drives him to kill Nikos' friend, where he regrets it instantly after, and he comes to the realization of his now doomed existence. He hates what he has become, and in fear of killing his own fiancée, he leaps off the yacht into the ocean to try and kill himself. However, his will to live overpowers him and he resurfaces. And from there in the comics, he is mostly seen as an antagonist. He feeds on the men coming to his rescue in the water, and he then flees to Manhattan to find others to feed on. It is here he runs into Spider-Man, that has by accident given himself 6 arms for some reason. Well, it seems like a lot of accidents are going on with experiments in the Spider-Universe here. The two battle along with lizards, aka Dr. Connors. And at one point, Dr. Connors actually uses Morpheus' blood to make a cure for Spider-Man to reverse his 6 arms. A lot is going on. Morbius is thrown into the water again, but he pulls himself out of there to duke it out with Spider-Man, who gets help from none other than the X-Men to overpower Morbius. And then Morbius flees. Now, Morbius' story continues in other comics like Curtis magazines, where he becomes more of this anti-hero. He eventually comes back to Marvel Comics, where he mostly tries to find a cure for himself, and keeps an eye on his fiancée to keep her safe, and not to kill her himself. There was a comics in the 90s featuring Ghost Rider, where he tries to convince Morbius to use his power for good, and if he's going to kill someone, then go for the bad people, the ones who deserve it. Now, there have been a lot of single issues with Morbius alone, comic book stories with only the stories of Morbius. They look cool, the art is really cool in these magazines. So what we're going to see in the movie is going to be very interesting. So let's go check that out and talk a little bit about it. Yeah, it's going to be exciting indeed to see what this movie is going to entail for us. Now, I'm pretty sure that it's not going to be a direct adaptation from the first comic, 101 issue The Amazing Spider-Man, because, first of all, it's Sony. X-Men do exist in Sony, but I do not think they're going to involve X-Men into this. And the six-armed Spider-Man, and yeah, there's just a lot of shit going on in that issue that I know for a fact is not going to be in this movie. So I don't believe that talking about that comic will have any spoilers, but it will be cool to see if they have some aspects of it in there.
You need a doctor?
I am a doctor.
I am a doctor.
I should have died years ago.
People all over the world have my disease.
I'm here to find a cure. We have to push the boundaries, take the risks.
If you're gonna run,
Do it now.
Do it now.
Dr. Michael Morbius, you've been missing for 2 months.
When you're a stranger,
Then you were found on a container ship that washed up off of Long Island.
faces look ugly.
Finish it. They are.
When you're alone,
What did you do to yourself, Doctor?
I wish I knew.
Cool.
I went from dying to being more alive than ever.
Nice.
Not exactly. I have increased strength and speed and some form of bat radar. What else can I do?
It's flying! Like it's in the comics, gliding.
There has to be.
There's something inside of me. Who wants to hunt and consume blood?
Michael.
when you're a stranger, faces
Effects look amazing.
Control it.
I don't know.
Half the city wants to kill you.
remembers your name.
We haven't had anything this good since that thing in San Francisco.
When you're strange,
The other half wants to control you.
hey, Dr. Mike, you and I should stay in touch.
I'd do anything to save a life, but I don't know what I'm capable of.
You save lives, you don't take them.
Are you here to heal the world? Or to destroy it?
Morbius.
Who the hell are you, man?
I am Venom. I'm just kidding. It's Dr. Michael Morbius at your service.
I don't know about you guys, but I love it. I think it looks really cool, and I do believe that Jared Leto is going to play him amazingly. Like I said earlier, I have this feeling that this is going to be one of those adaptations where it's actually cooler in the movies than in the comics. But we have been wronged many times before, so I'm not gonna carve that in stone, but it would be cool. I think it looks very nice, and it feels like they're gonna hit that element hard, that he's gonna be probably not an antagonist, but his anti-hero who is conflicted with himself, with his urges of killing and saving, because he's a doctor, like they said there. So yeah, the effects look really cool. The one thing that is very confusing about this trailer, and I know that everybody who I have seen talk about this trailer are very confused about the elements in there, because if you notice, you can see Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man painted on the wall, and then you see Tom Holland's Vulture in there as well, and the Oscar buildings from Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. So they've put all of them into, it seems like, to confuse people which universe is this from. Now, I don't know if they've done that on purpose so people can't tell, or has the multiverse of madness already begun and everything has crossed over. We know what is coming now in the new Spider-Man movie, No Way Home. So could everything already be mixed, or is this just an editing scam to keep people off the scent? Which universe is this occurring in? But most people agree that this definitely is the same universe as Venom, because it's Sony's property and Sony is doing it, so that is very likely. But we all want to see him face off Spider-Man, both Venom and Morpheus, so that would be very cool. I don't know about you guys, but I am really excited about this movie. I think it looks very cool. Please be cool. Anyway, this is all I have for this episode, guys. If you like content like this, and if you like this specific content, give me a like, guys. And if you want to see more of it, tell me in the comments what else would you want to see, which hero or villain would you like to see a backstory about that I can research and tell you about. And if you want to see more the Nerd Hangout content, be sure to subscribe and click that bell so you will be notified each time we upload something. We have a lot of different, diverse nerd content, everything from gaming to crafting to talk about nostalgia things from the 80s and 90s, games, cartoons, board games and stuff like that. So we have a lot of different content. You can go to our playlist, I can put a card right here, where you can see all the different material we have. Anyway, you can tell me in the comments what would you want to see, and I will definitely look that up and create something for your liking. Anyway, guys, that's all I have for this episode. Thank you for the nerds. Goodbye. Oh, wait, one more detail. Of course, when the movie comes out, we're going to watch it and we're going to review it. Yeah, so come back for that, guys.